Like, did that moment ever come during this process?
Yes, it came several times. When you get to those points of utter frustration where you want to quit, you got to have cheerleaders.
Mm.
So I had you, Mom, you can do it.
There's going to be things that you've had in mind, ideas that you have that you haven't started, or maybe you did start and you're kind of in the manuka of it, and you're stuck. It's like, oh, I'm in over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Me, well, the question is, why not you? Thousands of people have podcasts.
Yeah.
Why not you? Why can't you have one? Thousands of people started a consulting business or became entrepreneurs or, took on a new hobby.
Yeah.
Why not you? It's done. Why can't it be you? There's no reason why it can't be you.
Welcome to Get Real with Alexis Jones. On this podcast, we'll dive into real relationships with real people guided by the wisdom and perspective of some of the most seasoned voices in our community, our beloved seniors. Each week, we'll unpack the joys, challenges, and lessons learned about love, family, friendship, and everything in between. This is a space for heartfelt conversations, eye-opening truths, and powerful stories that will inspire and challenge the way you think about relationships. We're keeping it honest, unfiltered, and deeply meaningful. So settle in and let's get ready to get real. Let's jump in.
Hello again, and welcome to Get Real with Alexis. I'm your host, Alexis, and we're here for another episode. I am excited again to have my son here, Brandon, who has decided. You want to say hello?
I was just waiting. But go ahead.
He has decided that he wants to ask some questions that I think the answers will be enlightening and hopefully inspiring to all of you who listen to my podcast.
Small correction. I didn't decide. Alexis decided. I asked her some questions on the phone. I was like, hey, this would be a good idea for a podcast for you to do. And then she decided, you need to come over here and ask me these questions and be a part of this podcast. So
Well, that's true. I forgot that part.
you forget a lot of parts.
Yeah. That is true. After he made the suggestion, I said, well, why don't you come help me do it? So he's here, and I'm glad he's here. My grandchildren are in the next room, so we're going to try to get through this smoothly.
Noise free.
Noise free, without distraction.
Who knows?
But we'll do the best we can. All right, so what's our topic?
Okay, so I don't know how we got on the topic, but no, I think it just came to me. I just blurted it out. So I had this idea of a topic relating to seniors especially, but it can apply to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Your journey of starting this podcast came with a lot of, speed bumps and blockades and a lot of obstacles. And so this podcast almost didn't happen.
Absolutely.
And, behind the scenes, helping you, set this stuff up and finding equipment and software and all that kind of stuff. And you call me or I come over and try to help you figure it out. There was a lot of frustration and you were tired a lot.
Yeah.
But this has been a platform that's helped people, in different areas of their life, and it almost didn't happen. So this was something that you felt like God was calling you to do, and you almost gave up on it.
I did.
Because of so many, all the obstacles and so many just the disappointments and the frustration and the fatigue. And so, I thought this would be a good topic to talk about, like just your experience in doing this. And like, whenever someone feels like they've been called to do something or you want to do something, how to push through obstacles and get to the other side of that thing.
Yeah.
So,
Pushing through.
yep.
Pushing through.
Yeah. So, I wanted to kind of talk about your experience with all of this and just kind of get what your feelings and emotions were, to get to this place, because it wasn't easy.
Right. To say it wasn't easy is really an understatement.
Yeah.
It was chaotic. It was, as you say, frustrating. It was exhausting mentally, physically, emotionally. And there were many times when I said, what in the world was I thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. No. And so, and I started my podcast a little bit before you, and I was going through some of those same things. Even though I'm a little bit more technologically advanced, not much really, because it's still a new venture for me. But I knew so it helped me. What helped me help you was I was going through it, and you knew I was going through it.
Yes.
And so all of your frustrations, I had those same frustrations sitting in my basement at night. And well, actually, we started in our old house. So I was in the upstairs media room, and just being really frustrated when the software wasn't working, and like, okay, well, how come this isn't doing that? I can't hear the sound. Like, why is the sound not coming through? Why is this camera? Why is the screen dark?
Right.
All this different stuff. And it was, it was really, really frustrating.
And
so
you go in green. I mean, it's not like we went to college for how to do a podcast.
Right.
And here's the equipment. And here's how to troubleshoot. Here's what you need. We had to research all of that.
Yeah.
Now, because you started before I did, I kept calling you when I get stuck, and I got stuck a lot.
Yeah.
So you set me up with what I needed, basic things that I needed. But it was a steep learning curve for me. And whatever frustrations you had, think about that and add 30 years to your life.
Yeah.
Because I am 30 years older than you.
You are.
And so
you only look 25 years older though.
Yeah. What? Really?
Yeah.
For real? Okay.
Just saying. Good job.
Well, the mind was on overdrive. So yeah. So I want to start with maybe and stop me asking me questions or whatever you need to do to keep us on topic. The podcast itself is kind of one of many things that I believe God has called me to do. You mentioned that when you were opening. I believe that we are here for a purpose.
Yes.
We are here for a purpose. And if we don't know what our purpose is, that's the first thing we need to do. Because if you don't know your purpose, you'll be drifting anywhere and everywhere.
Absolutely.
But if you know your purpose, you can kind of take a narrower road to where it is God's trying to get you to and how he wants to use you. If you don't know your purpose, you'll be looking at other people's purpose and say, oh, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do that because that looks good. That looks interesting. But why am I here? So that is so broad. But let me just say this, going back to the podcast, and then maybe we can branch off to the other areas. I got the idea to start the podcast after Herman passed. It's just I don't know why it came to me, and it was so strong. It was something that I felt like I had to do, and I knew nothing. I mean, I listened to a few podcasts, but I really wasn't listening to a lot of podcasts. But I felt like it was something God was calling me to do. So the first podcast I did was just describing the events surrounding Herman's passing. So there was a couple of things that happened to me there besides trying to figure out how to make all that work. And I didn't have a studio at the time.
Right.
I was just sitting in front of a computer screen.
Right.
and turning on the video and the sound and hoping it all works, right? I think I had a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
But what I discovered for me was that talking about grief as I was learning to understand it was helpful to me in my path to healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I found by the response of people that it was helpful to them too.
Okay.
Because when I talked about it in a very open, transparent way.
Right.
All of my feelings, the good, the bad, the ugly, the things that people are kind of afraid to say out loud because they think they might be judged. I mean, I believe God was telling me to just be honest with people and
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started. And then it just started evolving from there. More equipment. Instead of sitting over at my desk in front of a screen, I asked you, I said, can you help me set up a studio? Will this love seat work? And what can we do? And you gave me a lot of ideas because you are really good about setting up things.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know, you know how to research it. So you got me all set up with the equipment. And I said, I want a sign because he has a sign. You need to go to Get Busy Pod.
The Get Busy podcast.
The Get Busy podcast. That's Brandon's podcast. So he has a sign that looks kind of like this. And I said, I want a sign.
Yes, she put me to work a lot of hours designing. I designed your intro
I was going to say,
video.
That takes time.
Yeah. This sign helped set this up. Did this all for free, by the way. I didn't charge her anything.
Well, you pay back for all the diapers I changed.
Okay. I didn't ask you to change
and all the sleepless nights. And let me not tell the labor story.
Please don't. They don't want to hear it.
Okay.
They've probably heard it a few times in this podcast.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Labor with you was very hard. I mean, the doctor told me you might need to have a cesarean because this baby is big.
Trying to say I got a big head?
Yeah, big head. And I said, no. I want natural. Until you start coming out. I was like, give me some meds. Anyway, this is payback.
I was trying to avoid you guys hearing
the labor story.
But here we are. So on top of, like I said, Herman passing, very emotional time, and trying to start all of this, doing what you feel like God was telling you to do. What was like, do you have like a time that you were like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, this is really frustrating. I need to quit. Like, did that moment ever come during this process?
Yes, it came several times. It really did, because I'm the kind of person that once I learn something and I'm fairly comfortable with it, I'm always looking for, well, maybe I can do this to make it better. So there's always a desire to go to the next step. I don't take a huge leap, but I there's something in me that wants to progress.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like. Just many steps forward. And every time I got this, maybe I could do this, it was frustrating because I didn't know how to do that. So now I'm on the internet researching and looking at YouTube videos and calling you, and even to get the editing software. Editing? Me editing? I had to learn how to not just record a video, but to edit a video. That's really, and then the sound quality and the video quality. And so every time I had this desire to take a step up, whether it was to improve a thing or to learn a new thing, it was very difficult.
So I want to point out
But I want to say this.
Okay.
You need, when you get to those points of utter frustration where you want to quit, you got to have cheerleaders. So I had you, because you always tell me, I've taken on many different projects throughout my life, and you've known about it. And you always say, Mom, you can do it. let me research this, I'll send it to you. Let me do this, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I never charged you for that either. You know, no consulting fees, nothing.
Just put it on my tab.
I'll put it on your tab.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed that you said, really the way you said it, you said, I was learning how to do editing. And I'm like, me?
Yeah.
And so when you said me, I think a lot of people feel like that. So for the people watching, you know, there's going to be things that you've had in mind, ideas that you have that you haven't started, or maybe you did start and you're kind of in the manuka of it and you're stuck. It's like, oh, I'm in over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Me? Well, the question is, why not you?
Yes.
You know, thousands of people have podcasts.
Yeah.
Why not you? Why can't you have one? Thousands of people started a consulting business or became entrepreneurs or, you know, took on a new hobby, line dancing.
Yeah.
Why not you? It's done. Why can't it be you? There's no reason why it can't be you.
And the other thing about that, besides asking that question, because you do have to ask that question and consider, well, if somebody else can do it, I should be able to do it.
Yes.
But I'll tell you what helped me to keep going, because you used the term pushing through.
Mm-hmm.
It was purpose and it was obedience. I believe that if God has purposed me to do something and told me, okay, do this, that he's going to send the cavalry, you know, he's going to send the help that I need.
Yeah.
So I don't have to have all the resources. I don't have to have all the knowledge and the experience. But if I know this is something he has told me to do, then I'm relying on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that that definitely doesn't take away the frustration factor.
Yeah.
At all. And the chaos and the confusion and the, Lord, I just can't do this. I need to do something else.
Yeah.
Or dial this back a little bit. But in my gut, in my spirit, because he's done it before.
Right.
Many times throughout my life, he always gives me what I need when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it ahead of time. I wish we did, don't you?
I wish God would just tell us the whole story and give us all the answers.
All the resources and answers.
Say, turn left here. When you get there, turn right. Then you're going to go through that.
And when you get there to that intersection, this is what you're going to find.
Yeah.
That's not the roadmap he gives us.
No.
I guess that's what faith is all about.
That's what it's all about. So it's key what you said, looking back at the things that God has already done in your life. You have to remind yourself sometimes and go into his word. Because when you're talking, I was thinking about Gideon in the Bible. He was the least. So his tribe was the least in the tribe of Israel. And of his clan inside that tribe, his clan was the least of that tribe. And of that clan, his family was the least in the whole clan. And then in his family, he was the least in his family. So he was the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. And God said, hey, I'm going to use you to defeat your enemies.
Right.
And in fact, he even whittled down the number of the soldiers down to 300, I think. And so, you know, God, he wants us to know that we can't do these things on our own.
Yeah.
We have to depend on him. But everything is like, I like to use the analogy of lifting weights.
Yeah.
Lifting weights is hard, but if you want to develop muscle and become healthier, there has to be resistance or it's not. You could do the same movements with no weight on the bar, but it's not going to get you anywhere. You have to put weight on the bar. It has to be hard. It has to tear your muscle fibers so it can build back up, so you can get stronger. That's like with everything else in life. And so when you're taking on these new ventures and doing what God is calling you to do, it's not going to always feel good because everything, like God, he layers different purposes within the thing. So it's not So this podcast is not just to get information out and to help people,
Right.
but it also is going to build you up.
Yes.
And it's going to help me learn to have patience with you when I'm
Right.
helping you. And
Right.
then my wife has to have patience with me because I'm taking time to do this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
it's multi-layered,
Exactly.
but it's all God has he controls everything. He sees everything. We don't always see it. And so when we're learning new things, we're pushing through new things, you have to expect frustration.
Mm-hmm.
But God hasn't given us a spirit of fear.
Yeah.
And so when we're walking out this life, if you're feeling afraid, just know that you're not supposed to feel afraid, but God gives us grace because he knows that we're human, but it's a gauge. So like, okay, I'm afraid. I don't have to be afraid though.
Yeah, I agree with that. And this is how I look at that. I have this saying that I say to myself and to others: feel the fear. It's just a feeling. It's just an emotion, but do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So all of us are going to feel the feeling of fear throughout our lives.
Yeah.
So for us to say, I never feel fear, because the Bible says do not fear.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel fearful sometimes. Sometimes things happen in our lives that are scary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could go down the list right now, just talk about the things that have happened in the last year that have been scary.
Yeah.
But it's our faith and the assurance that we're not alone and that God is going to get us through it that helps us to push through.
Yeah.
He uses different ways of helping us through that difficulty. But we feel that fear, embrace that fear. I'm scared. Lord, this is scary. Brandon, I'm scared.
Yeah.
But I want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
But I believe God will give me the courage, because I believe that really courage is feeling the fear, being afraid, but doing what you're afraid of.
Yeah.
That's courage.
There's no courage without fear.
Yeah. There's no
It's
courage.
a formula, but that God will use that fear to help you develop the courage so you can defeat that fear. And then in a different part of your life, there might be some fear, and God will help you through that. But you can look back at the other thing that you conquered, like, okay, I can conquer this fear.
Because I conquered it then.
Exactly.
He helped me back here. He helped me with that. So you have to reflect back, say, as that saying goes, he did it before.
Yeah.
He'll do it again.
Do it again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking at the breakfast table this morning about AI, and I was looking at I was taking this AI webinar yesterday, just kind of learn more about it. And then you were playing some music on your TV, and you were telling me like, that's all AI. And I had no idea, because I'm still kind of learning about it. And,
me too.
we were talking about the fear of AI. So it's like, you can make a whole song with the lyrics and the vocals, the music, and you don't need a studio. You just need a computer.
Right.
And it's like, man, well, what about all these musicians and artists out here? And I was telling you that, Marvel laid off about 1,000 employees because AI, all the visual effects, like AI can do all that stuff now. So it's a scary world.
Yes.
But I was telling you that people that I've been watching on YouTube who are really successful in their different areas of life, they all seem to share this same type of mindset. And whenever they mention AI, it's never a fear thing. It's always, okay, this is just something for us to adapt to and to learn. And so,
because as you said, it's not going away.
It's not going away. It's not going away. It's just AI and whatever other thing that is in our lives. Sometimes these things aren't going to go away.
Right.
We have to learn to adapt and to be willing to learn.
Yeah. And that, Brandon, that brings me back. If I were to look at this same concept through my senior lens, a lot of my friends, AI is just not on the table, but text messaging or reading email and responding or sending photos, all that, because a lot of my friends have gotten more comfortable, but there are others who won't touch it because it's scary.
Yeah.
We're used to the phone rings, landline, you pick it up, you answer it, you talk, and you put it down. And now people hardly have landlines anymore.
Right.
So that's been and is for a lot of seniors still a steep learning curve. But the principles that we're talking about still apply because we're not on landlines anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not making the phone calls like we used to. We're sending you a text message or you're in a chat,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how we're
Or
communicating.
video call or something.
Or video call.
Yeah.
So if you say, well, I'm not gonna fool with that. I just don't like that technology. I'm just not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to miss some valuable communication.
Yeah. I think we saw it like during COVID, the benefits of, a lot of people were isolated,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw so many seniors with iPads and,
Yeah.
doing the Zoom calls
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So it was during that very difficult time of life,
Mm-hmm.
you had this technology that allows you to do something that
Mhm.
otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. Still see your grandkids, see your family,
Yes.
and, you can still conduct business and whatever it is you needed to do because of this new technology that you were forced to have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, it was a benefit during something that was tough.
Absolutely. You either isolate it or you can connect.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was standing outside my building and I had never in my life heard of Zoom. I didn't know what it was. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. I hadn't heard the term, but I heard some senior friends of mine saying that they had a book club
Mhm.
and that they were now going to have to meet via Zoom. And I was just overhearing the conversation. I didn't ask them anything. I said, Zoom, what's that?
Mhm.
I came up here and I researched what is Zoom. That's how I started doing Zoom.
Yeah.
And you're right. During the pandemic, we were isolated. We were afraid to open our front doors.
Yeah.
Right. And so that kept us connected. And you weren't a part of my group, but I started a group and I invited all my friends that we could meet once a month, friends and relatives, once a week rather, via Zoom just to talk to each other. Right.
Yeah.
And so if you close your mind to new things, you're just going to miss out on. Yes, it's going to be frustrating to learn. It is. But you can get past that and get grandchildren. My grandchildren can help me learn a lot because they
Mhm.
are very comfortable with this technology.
They are.
Yeah. So if you can get somebody to help you do some basic things so that you can stay connected and
Mhm.
communicate, I would say go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I think a lot of seniors, they feel like they're kind of stuck and maybe be past like their mental prime or,
Mhm.
whatever it is that or physical or whatever.
Yeah,
But I think a lot of people still have a lot more to offer.
absolutely.
But this is really just getting into the mindset of, okay, well, let me just take that step forward,
Yes.
and so,
Everything starts in the mind.
yeah.
The mind will make or break you. You can listen to the negative voices that are so loud,
Mhm.
or you could choose to listen to some positive voices and say, I can do this. I may have, Brandon, it's kind of like I'm teaching line dance. Well, that again was a steep learning curve. First, I just started doing it,
Mhm.
learning to do it. That was a steep learning. I mean, line dancing can be difficult because you're thinking and moving at the same time.
Mhm.
That's a lot of brain work. So I started becoming comfortable with that. And then I started teaching my friends.
Mhm.
And then I thought, with the encouragement of some of my friends in the line dance community, shout out to Warren Moon, uh, that Alexis, maybe you could teach. So I ended up, long story short, teaching. But when seniors come into my class, they come in, many of them apologize, like, they're scared. I've never done this before, or I got 3 left feet, or all of that. They're letting
Mhm.
me know. I said, that's okay. We're going to start small and we'll build tiny steps.
Yeah.
And so with all of these things that we have the potential of doing and enjoying, baby steps.
Yeah.
Just have the courage to do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're comfortable with that, add on another thing, because what we don't want to do, and one of the things I believe that I'm here for, especially at this time in my life, is to encourage seniors to live their best lives.
Yeah.
Quality of life, because we don't know when the end date is. We don't. But from now until then, I want to live with no regrets. And I want my senior friends and relatives to live with no regret.
Yeah. All right. So what would you say is one of the biggest like benefits of you pushing through your fear? Like, did you ever have, there was a time where you felt like the most satisfied, like, wow, I did that. Like, what was that moment?
You know, in all the little things that I've done or big things, the beginning, in the meantime is the hardest place, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You start this project, you have this idea, and you want to do this thing, and then you start to implement it.
mm-hmm.
But you haven't gotten to where you need to get to. I call that the in the meantime. In the meantime, for each of these projects is difficult. You will either keep going or you will quit.
Yeah.
And so, as I said earlier, if you believe that's your purpose and God has called you to do that thing, you got to push through. Get the help you need. You got to push through, not just for whoever will benefit at the end,
Mm-hmm.
but as you said, there's layers to this. You will benefit, and people that you don't even know will benefit, because that's how God works.
Mm-hmm.
He places us here for that reason. So to answer your question, when you do reach whatever that end point is, it's incredible. It's such a feeling of accomplishment and valuing myself. It adds more value to me. Like, I did that. And it gives you the confidence that maybe I could do something else.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
So you conquer one thing.
Mm-hmm.
You thought, well, it could be a small thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know how to send a text message. Maybe I can learn how to send a photo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and every little thing makes you want to, gives you the confidence to try something else that's new.
That's very true. So
Mhm.
this year started maybe 2 months ago. I told myself I'm not going to eat any desserts for the rest of the year. Not even holidays, birthdays, nothing. Right. And so I wanted to help control, some of my food cravings.
Mhm.
So I've been doing that pretty well for the past couple of months. And then I was like, man, I'm doing pretty good. Like, some people say, like, you losing weight, like, a little bit. So I started also like intermittent fasting. So I try to, at night once I finish dinner, go to bed, I'll skip breakfast. A lot of times I'm not hungry for breakfast anyway, but sometimes I am. But I'll skip that all the way till lunchtime to get that. I think the goal is like 16 hours without eating. And it helps like a lot of medical scientific stuff, but like your cells start to repair themselves when it's not worried about digesting new food and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of on this health kick. And I was like, I wonder if I could stop snacking too. So because I proved to myself, because the food has always been like a struggle for me my whole life. Because and that's the part where I got it from.
Yeah,
but like
I think so. Sorry about that.
yeah. And so when I was able to prove to myself like I can be disciplined in this area, now I'm like, it just made sense that I can do it in another area where it wouldn't have made sense had I not conquered this first thing.
Yes.
And so now I'm like, okay, what else I can do? And so like now it's kind of like a snowball effect, and it feels really, really good when
it feels good.
Start to accomplish. So I'm still trying to, my wife, she'll catch me snacking every now and then. So, I got to pull back on. So I'm still getting that right, but I'm a lot better than I was where I was snacking all the time.
Yeah.
So now I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you said, once you hit that accomplishment, it gives you the confidence to like keep going and to and to do something else.
Yeah, it does. And it's really a good feeling. It really
Yeah.
is. And as we get older, we have to fight harder. And these are the ways that we can fight. Just keep powering through, not just the thing. This is how we power through life.
Mhm.
And life is difficult.
Yeah.
And at this stage in my life, a lot of friends and acquaintances are passing away because I'm at that. I mean, I know that we can leave here early,
Mhm.
but it's more frequent as you get older.
Yeah.
And so there is a fear that we have, or concern at least, about when is that day going to come for me? Is it going to come sooner or later? We don't know, and
Yeah.
we have no control of that. What we do have control is how we live until then.
Mhm.
And we've got to choose to live, not just exist.
Right.
It breaks my heart when I know that seniors are just kind of existing.
Mhm.
They're at home alone. And that's why one of the reasons I teach line dance. I don't teach line dance because I just want you to learn a couple of steps and put some music on. It's fun,
Mhm.
but I want quality of life. I want to force you to think. I want to force you to laugh.
Yeah.
I want to force you to laugh at yourself and to create a community.
Mhm.
That's what I want, because that's important for us.
Yeah. So I think to conclude, I want to do like a call to action for
Okay.
your listeners. And so I think what you said was important, talking about baby steps. So whether that's like losing weight or learning a new technology or getting out and being more social, if you want to go get outside your house and go for a walk down the street. If you can't do it every day, just start once a week. Just start small, do
Yeah.
something, and start to, build on top of that. And
Right.
so,
5 minutes.
yeah, just a couple of minutes,
Yeah.
go to the gym, work out, whatever it is. A lot of us have workout equipment or we have a gym membership that we don't use. Just go one time a week, man. Just do
Yeah.
something, so, what I'm
Do
saying?
something.
So I would say, I think it'd be cool, when you guys see this podcast, put whatever that thing is in the comments that's been in the back of your mind that you've been wanting to do, or this goal that you have, or
Yeah.
whatever that you want to start, or the thing that you just want to learn. I want to learn how to do knitting, anything,
Yeah.
put that in the comment section, and let's try to create community and encourage each other. And, just,
Encouragement is powerful.
yeah.
It's empowering. Let's encourage each other. Let's stop talking about each other in a negative way.
Hmm.
It's time out for that.
Yeah.
I mean, life is already difficult, right? Let's encourage each other. Well, what are your goals? What do you want to do? How can I help you? Let's keep going. You can do this. You can, like you encourage me, you can do this, Mom. I can't do this. I'm tired of this. I just want to do it. I'm not going to do it. You can do this, Mom.
Hmm.
You need a cheerleader. I did a podcast about that. Surround yourself by a couple of cheerleaders and talk to them honestly about your struggles and be encouraged.
Yeah.
Let them encourage and inspire you and be your arms and your legs and your feet to help you keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do this by ourselves.
Yeah. And then keep, sometimes you have to find those people
Mm-hmm.
who are those encouragers, because everybody that's in our lives aren't
They're
encouragers.
not.
And you have to be
Need
okay
to
with
push
that.
those a little bit in the background.
Yeah. And bring in some of the
Bring
people.
in
Or it might be one person.
It might be one.
Yeah.
Might just be one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
They're not going. My mother used to say those kind of people don't come in big numbers.
right.
There's only going to be a few,
Yeah.
if one.
Mm.
But the negative people who bring you down when you're in their company and you don't feel good after they depart,
Mm.
they probably should be on the back burner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the people who tend to make you feel good about yourself and make you feel like you can do this,
Mhm.
or whatever that feeling is, bring them in a little closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even some of the things that we digest, whether it's like
Yeah.
the news that we listen to, or the
Mhm.
music, or whatever we're scrolling and watching, like, if those things aren't building you up, you should probably cut some of those things out.
Yeah.
Let's put some stuff in our minds that's going to encourage us and build us up, because we have to develop a mindset
Yes.
to be able to accomplish that.
Absolutely. The Bible says that be transformed or changed by the renewing of your mind. That is so critical. It starts up here. I said that on the last podcast.
Mhm.
It starts there. What are we feeding our minds?
Mhm.
Right. And because that will determine our behavior.
Yeah.
Our thoughts first, and then our behaviors will follow.
Yeah.
So the things and the resources and the people that bring us down, we might need to make some adjustments.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
But thank you for doing this. What we hope you take away is
Change. It's okay to change. It's okay to grow. Get good people in your life. Watch what you're bringing into your life. God helps you with your fears. We all have fears. You can conquer those fears.
Yeah.
They're conquerable because the Bible says that it is, and God is not a man that he should lie.
He's going to tell the truth every time.
Every time.
And as you said at the beginning, push through.
Yeah. And put what your goal is and what that thing is, put it in the comments.
Yes.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And when you put that thing in the comment section, I will be your cheerleader.
Absolutely. And don't forget my podcast too. I have a podcast.
And what's the name of it?
The Get Busy Podcast with Brandon and Izzy. Yes.
Brandon and Izzy, Get Busy, Bizzy.
There you go.
The Get Busy Podcast. So thank you all for joining us here today, and we will see you next time on Get Real with Alexis. See you next time.
Bye.